Next up, we have Bernd Spiess from DE-CIX, who will talk to us about the transformation of peering in the Middle East. So, a different aspect here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bernd. I'm working for DE-CIX. Thanks to the program committee for having me, and congrats to all Omani people for your wonderful country. I really like to be here. So this is my presentation about transformation of peering in Middle East. So this is the new version, which is somehow meanwhile a series of presentations. So this is the 24 edition of this presentation. So we will look at 5 different main topics. So as we are looking for the progress of interconnection in the region. So the 3 big topics are these PNI peering, IXP peering, the cache question, and then we are looking at an extra topic, which means peering preventing issues, which we still see in the region, and some quick examples at the end. So let's start with the first topic, the PNI peering, and disclaimer, I'm not from that site. Yeah, I know a bit about this site, but I'm not representing PNI peering, hyperscaler peering. So this is my best guess to give you an idea about this side. In general, PNI peering, we talk about the hyperscaler peering here. Hyperscaler tend to offload their traffic not mainly over the internet exchanges, as we all know, but mainly via direct connections. So the hyperscaler typically send 80–90% or even more than this via PNI peering. So this is also a big ecosystem beside our IXP topic, which I represent. So PNI is important, is also important in the region. So this is why it is part of that mentioning as well. When we talk about the hyperscaler PNI peering in the region, we talk about many terabit per second, what they exchange typically here. So this is a bit, let's say, invisible giant traffic exchange beside what we see publicly on the internet exchanges. So question is, are they in the Middle East region? And I think you can imagine the answer here already. So yes, they are. So this is quite a good progress, because many years back this map was mostly empty, I would say. So as you see, this is a massive presence of those. So hyperscaler means in my presentation here, don't know if there is an exact precise definition who it exactly is, but for me this here is Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon and Oracle. So you see this in the colors where I believe they are. So Facebook, Meta, Mehmet told me where they are, so this should be accurate. For the others, I looked on the interconnection page where they offer peering, so this is my assumption that they should be there. So this is best effort from my side, as said. So for Facebook, Meta, as Mehmet Dik is sitting here, so you can peer with them in Istanbul, in Doha, in Egypt and in Muscat. Similar with the other guys, so this is the chance to get the traffic with them via a cable if you can make your connection to this location. And this is also important in the context if you can reach the location. Yeah? Because the issue is not everyone is everywhere, as you have seen. So some are here, some are there, some are nowhere. But those who are here, they are maybe not that easy to reach. So maybe if you're from Oman and you have your backbone in the Equinix data center and your hyperscaler is in the same data center, okay, this is just a question of a cross-connect. But if you are, let's say, you have your network in Saudi and you want to reach Meta in Qatar, in Doha, then you might find out that your backhaul link from Saudi to Marseille is much cheaper than reaching Doha. So this is the well-known topic. We already heard it a few times. So it is a question if you can reach those locations. What you have seen in the map, the big density, what we see along the coastline, Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, Oman, there is an overweight, I would say. Then coming to the second part, the internet exchange situation. So where are we? So typically they look back to last year and this year. So we see some new points on the map. So Iraq exchange, as already mentioned by my colleague Marco. In Saudi Arabia, we have the Riyadh-IX operated by Links for Center 3, and in Oman as well. So one very nice example highlighting here from the colleagues from the colleagues from Links in Riyadh-IX. This is remarkable because they started operational somewhere in July 24, and as you can see, July 24 until November, this is just a few months, and they reached 950 gig peak traffic, which is remarkable because in this year we typically look at years to ramp this up. This year went quickly, and the story behind this is football traffic. So that shows if you know how to run an internet exchange, which is true for Links, for UAE-IX and DE-CIX, I think, as well. And the operator, which is connected license-wise to this project, supports this project very well. Then you can quickly make a statement in the region, I would say. And this is why this is so remarkable here. Then second quick highlight, Iraq IXP. This is also remarkable because it started in 2024, and you see maybe the error in the slide. Marco mentioned 50. I show 20. Yes, it is 50 because the 50 happened in the last 1.5 weeks. So this slide is already outdated, and we look at 50 and not 20. Remarkable also because of the amount of peers, 22 peers in that amount of time is also remarkable. So looking at capacities, this is checking peering DB information, checking the home pages, maybe knowing some details and put it all together. Then we come to this picture. So you see UAE-IX with close to 6 terabit here, connected capacity. Number 2, DE-CIX Istanbul with close to 3 terabit. DE-CIX in Riyadh-IX. So you see the numbers. What's interesting to mention is the largest one is not seen here, and I got the update here on the conference. So the largest one in the region would be Tehran-IX, with a connected capacity of 16 terabit. So thanks, Shahab, for the info. It is not seen here because it is not on peering DB. So my question to everyone is please take care of peering DB to make these data visible. And yeah, the others you find the numbers in the presentation archive. Another comparison is the peak traffic. Peak traffic, Riyadh-IX, as already mentioned, operated by Links, took immediately the lead with a 950 gig peak traffic. DE-CIX, Jeddah plus Riyadh, they combine the traffic, so I don't know exactly which of that is Riyadh and Jeddah, so I left the number as it is. UAE-IX number 3, DE-CIX number 4, so you see the first 4 are close to the race to reach the 1 terabit IXP club. So let's see who will be the first one reaching that level. Sorry, one thing forgotten. Tehran IX update 3 terabit peak traffic. So the winner in this category is even not listed here because the homepage is not reachable from outside. The homepage is just reachable from inside Iraq. So if you want to be visible, please make sure to show this data publicly. Connected ASN is another important comparison number because you as a potential interested customer of an internet exchange, you want to know how many ASN you can reach. Number of ASN is beside traffic one of the value topics of an IX or D value topic because the IXP itself creates the value from the amount of connected ASN and the right ones for you. So looking at this number, UAE-IX is at 110, as already mentioned by Marco. Istanbul is number 2, Smart Hub IX. This is maybe also remarkable because Smart Hub IX is the second IXP in UAE. So UAE are here with number 1 and number 3. So this shows a very vital interconnection ecosystem. Also the number from Tehran IX, so I got the info about 85 ASN connected at Tehran IX. Then part number 3, not to forget the cache topic. So caches, if you're an operator, you know that stuff very well. So you put caches from large contents directly in your network, and you take care to make the backloading, the feeding traffic for the cache feed. This is typically your role here. This is very efficient for static content. So if you are an ISP or a large operator and you have issues with quality, you might want to look into getting the cache nodes. Maybe one warning or one link to our topic is the back feed or backload, the cache feed traffic. This is coming from the hyperscaler ASN. Yeah, so if you run your caches, you might be interested to have a good quality of the feeding traffic, and you might find these feeding mechanism over the internet exchanges. So this is where the cache systems meet with the IXP topic, or maybe the PNI topic, because it might also come from the PNI. Yeah, so question, are they in Middle East? Yes, they are. So this is a map from an internet source. It's the opentelecomdata.org, where you see different colors for different cache nodes, what the community identified as should be there. It's not my data, so if you want to participate or see something wrong or missing, then you might reach out to those who created this page. From the meaning, yes, this is important, yeah, because this gives your eyeball customers a good quality if you have the right caches for these different types of content. Interesting to mention here, sanctioned countries have no colors, so this might also be maybe important to understand. Yeah, that's maybe a quality topic, that nothing is in there. There are reasons why it's not in there, so this is not on me to explain here. A big density in most countries, also important. Not every CDN is in every country, and here we have again this topic of interconnection questions. So if you have a cache node from network A, then your neighbor network B has of course no access to that cache node because it is your cache node what you are supporting. Yeah, So it only helps those with the caches, and yeah, the interconnecting links to the internet exchanges for the cache load is to be understood to have a good result at the end. Yeah? Good. Fourth part, peering or interconnection preventing issues. Yeah? So we looked at the nice progress. There are good results on PNI, on IXPs, on cache systems, but what is hindering to be more successful? Quickly mention this here. Please have an eye on your BGP doing, yeah, especially RPKI and IRR filtering. This is still a topic which prevents a lot of traffic here. So if your prefixes are blocked and in this example RPKI invalid, this is not a good idea. And there is especially a situation here in Middle East which is triggering that in many cases. A lot of networks are having two ASN here, one for the international side, one for the national side, and we often see changes that network engineers flip IP prefixes from ASN A to ASN B and reverse, and not thinking about the fact that there is an RPKI ROA in the background. Or maybe those who do this even don't know anything about RPKI ROA. So please make sure that your RIPE and Afrinic and your other administrators who are sitting on the RPKI ROA topic, or the security guys, are in good alignment with the network engineers who change the prefixes between the ASNs, or maybe produce more specific prefixes beside super networks which have a covering ROA. No peering DB, it means no chance. If you make a peering request, especially to the larger one, they will tell you, I don't see you in peering DB, so please go away. I don't talk with you. So this is really meant rude, for good reasons, because peering DB gives you all the information about the technical details, who you are, what you do, how many prefixes, where you are. So if this data is missing, forget the idea to talk with others about peering. It will not work. Make sure that peering DB is covered and updated well. Another topic here, especially in this region, dark fiber, buy or rent. In Europe, I can tell you it is easy. You go to someone who owns the dark fiber, you ask for the dark fiber, and they will tell you a price for the dark fiber. Just to give you a benchmark, a typical price in Austria, which is communicated, is typically between, let's say, 30 cents per meter per pair per year. This is the calculation, and this means 30 cents up to 50 cents. This is a typical number for a dark fiber price. And yes, you can buy the fiber on an IRU base, you can rent the fiber, so everybody sells you fiber, buy as much fiber as you want. In Middle East, the typical answer I know is a no. You ask for, can I buy dark fiber? The answer is no. Can I rent dark fiber? The answer is no. Or maybe the answer is yes, but it will cost you a fortune. So this is one thing where, which is a very important pillar of an infrastructure, that customers are able to get access to dark fiber. Next thing, one layer upwards on the dark fiber is wavelength services. In Europe, just to give you also a price benchmark, a typical price on a monthly base for 100G wavelengths Ethernet between typical larger hubs like London, Amsterdam, Frankfurt. So typically it is 1,000 euro monthly for 100G wavelengths. Vienna to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Madrid, you name it. I'm not sure if this is healthy, so maybe, as already said a few times here, maybe this is too cheap, maybe that goes in a bad direction if I make it too cheap quality-wise. So I'm not sure if this is the ideal model. But on the other side, in Middle East, and just quoting here, a LinkedIn posting from a guy called Roderick Beck. This is not me saying that, but he mentioned a price in the region 100G costs $85,000 per month. If you compare $85,000 against $1,000, that might give you a hint what it means being maybe a bit too expensive if a European or North American or Asian network comes to your region and is surprised what is the price here. As said, maybe 1K is not the right answer, maybe this is too cheap, but maybe 85,000K is maybe too expensive. So what does high wavelength prices mean, or high dark fiber prices mean? What does it mean for you? So I think it means that international players will stay away from your market. Regional players will stay away from your market. Big IP traffic streams will happen elsewhere and not in your market. The local players cannot develop well. The entrepreneurs will start somewhere else. And your data center project might have competitiveness issues at the end. The jobs will grow, no question, but maybe not your country, maybe in another country. So that might be the negative side if prices are too high. And not stating that no one will take it. Of course, you're dealing with all these customers day by day, but maybe you'll miss the majority of those who would be here if the prices would be somehow more friendly. Another topic, layer 2 capacity offerings. So that's also a typical example from some countries. So networks looking for layer 2 capacity often get the answer, I don't like to give you a layer 2 connectivity, I can offer you an IP transit service. This is maybe not the expected idea. So yes, there is a reason why layer 2 connections are useful. So if your market is saying no layer 2 but layer 3 please, then maybe your market is not mature. So maybe you should think what your market is doing, and something very granular, very fundamental is missing here. So hypothesis from the last slide. If someone runs a POP in Dubai, maybe this one will most likely not make a connectivity to Riyadh, for example. If somebody is in Riyadh, they will most likely not connect to Muscat. If someone is in Bahrain, they will maybe not connect to Meta in Doha because of the pricing, but everybody likes to make a connectivity to Marseille, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, London. So this is a bit a strange thing. So if you have the good things nearby in your neighborhood, why do you want to go very long roads and routes to buy somewhere else if you have it in the neighborhood? In Europe, meanwhile, everybody connects with whatever capacity to whatever market. So these symptoms are not known in Europe. National filters, another important topic, and let me say I respect the fact that filters are there. Filters are there for good reasons. But just to maybe give you an idea to think about, if we look at one example, I don't want to name the country, but the country shows 168 ASNs registered there, and because of the license and filter topics, there are just 2 players allowed to connect those 168 or minus 266 ASN to the outside world, to the National Internet Exchange, because this one typically runs in front of the filters. So you reduce your market from 168 down to 2. To compare this with Germany, Germany shows around about 3,515 ASN connected, and there are 3,515 ASN allowed to use the internet exchange. So if you talk about creating a hub, maybe the concept of filters needs an update or needs an innovation cycle to find answers how to play with the full power of all available ASN of your country. Topic governmental taxes on megabit. Yes, there are countries which has a concept of MOC fees and the concept of not wanting layer 2 but maybe layer 3. So if you make traffic to your country very, very, very expensive, you might want to have no chance for a hub position outside of your country at all. And maybe your in-country development also might suffer from that. So if you tax a megabit far too high, then that has also some downsides to consider. Limiting connectivity to your neighbor country, that is also interesting. Yeah? Let's create just a random example. Let's say we look at Oman here and UAE, and the meaning of being against using your neighborhood IXP or using your neighborhood IXP in full. Let's create an example. You close the borders between Oman and UAE, and you tell all your people, if you want to go to Dubai or to Abu Dhabi, you have to fly to Marseille first. From Marseille, you fly back to Dubai, and so you can easily enter the country. Does this make sense? I don't think so. Why should someone driving by car from Muscat to Fujairah fly first to Marseille and come back, and this is the solution? I don't think this is an efficient solution. In data business, it goes this way. In some, let's say in some countries, in some situation, we have this idea. Does it make your data more secure? So if you have traffic which originates in Dubai and goes to Muscat, or it originates in Muscat and go to Riyadh, or it originates in Bahrain and it will go to Salalah, why do you want to send all this traffic first to Marseille or to London or to Frankfurt? That's an interesting question. So if you have the chance, open the borders, exchange the traffic in the region, I think your customers will profit from that, and your hub creation idea will also profit from that. IXP teams take care that if you run a local IXP yourself, make care that the people who are behind this idea are not leaving this position, because we also see one example where we have a nice IXP which might fall back and suffer from people having left this project. RIPE Atlas coverage, this was already mentioned. I skipped that part here, and let's come to the final example slides. This is also nice to see. If we put all these together and making some RTT traceroute test, and credit goes here to Anurag, who created a nice list of IPs to use. So this is just a random example. When you do trace routes, for example, from one example pairing from Saudi to Oman or Oman to Saudi, then it does not go directly, it does go via Frankfurt. So this is cool for Frankfurt. Thank you for that, but no, it should not be in Frankfurt, even if you help the Frankfurt ecosystem with that. It should stay in the region. And looking at the map here, where can you peer that? You have exchanges in Riyadh, you have exchanges in Jeddah, Manama X, Dubai, Fujairah, Oman, even Kuwait, even Qatar. So you have options. Please keep your traffic in the region and don't send it to Europe and back. Same example, Saudi to Qatar, Qatar goes to Marseille, to Paris, to Amsterdam and back. Does this make sense? No. And last example, UAE to Kuwait. This is even interesting because the one side goes via Marseille, the other side goes via Singapore. Is this a good idea? No. So maybe go back to all these shown obstacles and hindering facts. Maybe you'll find something which has been done wrong, or maybe conceptual. Think it over and implement measurement, implement RIPE Atlas to make these examples visible, and then I think it will get better. Because, final statement, these pictures which are created are not by mistake, are not because of lack of knowledge. This is by definition as you defined the ecosystem here. So that's it. Fix it or lose it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rish from ISOC. Thank you for the talk. Would be interested to understand how did you measure the PNI?
PNI, I cannot measure them because I have no insights, but I can find the locations. The Meta Facebook asset was friendly supported by Mehmet, telling me where they are. The others, if you go on the peering request page, then the hyperscalers tell you where they accept direct PNI request. So they come up with cities. So my thought, my wild guess is they have to be there, otherwise they will not offer a PNI connectivity there. So, thank you.
Hi, thank you for the beautiful insights. A question for the UAE
sorry,
exchange.
can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Elias Malouf. So,
Which one?
for the UAE-IX, you mentioned there is 110 ASNs connected to it. So can you give a breakdown or just inform us what is the breakdown of this 110?
So which ASN you mean?
The UAE-IX. Yeah.
Connected ASN?
Yeah.
Connected ASN at UAE-IX. So we have there a lot of content players like Microsoft,
So mainly content.
Amazon, Fastly, Akamai, Edgeo. So you name them. A lot of them, PCH is part of that, NetNode iRoot. So these DNS infrastructure or DNS Anycast systems are there. Public DNS resolvers, the Google Quad 8 is represented by the Google peering from Fujairah to UAE-IX. From the operator side, more or less, I would say mostly everyone from the region is connected to UAE-IX from the operator side. The national one, DO, is the license holder of UAE-IX, so they are connected massively with 460 gigabit right now, plus data MENA. Even the competitor Etisalat is connected, and there is also an interconnection to Smart Hub-IX, which brings in other peers from Afghanistan, for example, and Pakistan as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mehmet?
Hi, Mehmet here from Meta. So one more thing about the peering, direct peering, PNI locations. So if you go to peering DB and check the private facilities where you can have direct peering, I think for most of the hyperscalers, those are listed and updated. It's the same for Meta. And other than that, I would like to thank you a lot, Bernd, especially for the slides, looking awesome, and your dedication, support, and help in the Middle East internet and peering community. Especially this year's additions for direct peering locations, caching, and as well as highlighting the challenges. These are all good things, and giving the full picture. Thanks a lot again.
Thanks, Mehmet.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. So thank you, Bernd.